Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Maryland, New Jersey,
California,
Michigan.
Massachusetts,
Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Bay Lake Tower,
Key West,
Riviera.
Alani Resort,
Boulder Ridge,
Grand Floridian,
Beach Club. And you're listening to my
Well, welcome home, everybody, and welcome to our live show on January 19th, 2020. Welcome back, Alicia and Shannon. It's good to see you guys again.
I know. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
I was here last week, but you weren't, and then I was gone for a while. So
Yeah, I've been flying all over the place. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, thank you so much for co-hosting last week with Tom and Trevor. You guys did a great job on that show. I always encourage those guys that do the live podcasts they're not really live, but they don't put the level of editing into them that I kind of try to do because I'm doing personal stories and interviews. That I always encourage them, man, you guys should record your shows live and then just rip the audio and go from there, because it would really work out well for them.
we had a lot of chat from people that just wanted to see what they look like. They're like, oh, that's what you look like. So that was pretty funny. We had a lot of their fans on the chat, and they were like, oh, I didn't think you'd look like that. So that was fun. And I'm a fan. I actually think I had started listening to their show before I found my DVC points. So
yeah, they were published before I was.
Right. So it was fun to co-host with them.
Yeah. Anyways, let's come back in and I'll cover our agenda really quick this week. So today we are talking about countdown shares. When's everybody going home? I need podcast openers. If you guys want to open up a podcast interview with the Welcome Home neighbors, this is Chad from Michigan, owner at Bay Lake Tower, and you're listening to My DVC Points. I'll put some info out there on a post so that you guys can share that. I really, really need that. And then we're having a few listener meetups this week because my countdown is tomorrow. Oh. And I'm back again, believe it or not. And then we'll talk about Alicia's Loungefly obsession. And then we'll do trip reports from Alicia's 24-hour trip and then my Riviera trip. So I am seriously looking forward to today's show and coming back in with some great content for everybody to just at least talk about what we've been up to. So that being said and done, when is everybody going home? And
so I get to head back just a week from Sunday. So we're going to go check out Old Key West for a hot second, bring my dad down for his 90th birthday and get to go golfing down there.
Oh, awesome. Shannon, when are you going home?
So we don't have a planned trip until April and until the Magic Kingdom Moonlight Magic on April 21st. However, we are going on a Disney cruise 5 weeks from tomorrow. So we're headed out on the Disney Magic for a Marvel Day at Sea 5-night cruise on February 24th. So I guess that kind of counts too.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I am packing up. I mean, I'm not even packed, right? But I mean, I'm flying Spirit, so I'm only taking a backpack and it's just 2 days. And out of the clear blue, somebody who listens to the show said, hey, I have an extra Moonlight Magic ticket. Why don't you come down and do this? And I looked and I could get like $60 airfare from Spirit.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, my wife is going to kill me if I use more points for a guy's trip again.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I've kind of burnt that out this year. I got to let that cool down and build up a little bit more into the Honeydew bank account before I can do that again. But I looked and the All-Stars had like $85 a night out the door with tax.
Wow.
So I looked at this and I was like, really? Like, $200 and I got another trip to Disney because my AP is up and get to go hang out and go to another Moonlight event and do a listener meetup.
Is this in March?
No, this is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I thought this was for March.
No,
where's the Moonlight at then?
Yeah, so Moonlight is Tuesday night at Animal Kingdom, and I'll be there. I don't stay tuned to the My DVC Points page, and I'll post out some times. But right now, we're looking at doing a meetup tomorrow night. I'm probably doing dinner over at the Grand Floridian Cafe around 6 or 7-ish.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. And so it sounds like Oh, can everybody else on Facebook have audio issues, right?
Yeah.
Scott's saying that he doesn't have audio, and I'm seeing a bunch of other comments from people saying that they
Some say
do
they
or
can't
don't.
hear, and some say they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be an interesting deal. So
Well, hopefully you can hear us.
yeah, jump on over to
I'm trying to learn how
youtube.com.
to sign language, but I don't think that's going to help.
Yeah,
If you're on Facebook and you don't have audio, try going on YouTube. It might be a Facebook issue.
yeah, youtube.com/mydvcpoints. And I know Samantha is watching over there because she said she's got 105 days, right? So, and the Disney depression is real. I hear that one. But anyways, back to the story. So tomorrow night around 6, 7 o'clock-ish, I'm going to try to do a listener meetup over at the Grand Floridian Cafe. If anybody wants to join us for dinner. And then I'm going to try to be over at Top of the World tomorrow night to check out the fireworks. And then Animal Kingdom on Tuesday night. And then Monday we fly home, or Wednesday we fly home. So
wow, that's really fast. But I think we're driving in April. We're just going up that afternoon, going to Moonlight Magic, and then driving back. So we've never been to a Magic Kingdom one. So it's kind of the same thing, except we don't have to go through TSA.
yeah, well, I mean, I have Clear now and TSA pre-check. So those are lifesavers.
I have TSA pre-check, but I don't have Clear.
Yeah, Clear at MCO is just because if for whatever reason you don't get pre-check at MCO, that is like the ugliest airport on the planet to not have pre-check.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can just like, boom, straight through the line. No fuss, no muss.
I haven't been through MCO, I think since 2015 was the last time I was through there. So
got it.
yeah.
But probably, where you're at, Miami area, Fort Lauderdale, right?
Fort Lauderdale or Miami. I tend to leave out of Miami because American hub. It's not my preference. I prefer Fort Lauderdale, but I tend to leave out of American, and American is the hub. So yeah, there's TSA.
Got it.
Plus hubby works there, so that helps too.
Oh, that's cool.
Got it. Yeah, that is true. I mean, you should have some connections or at least a great hookup on parking there.
Yeah.
So let me come back in.
Yeah, Brandy and I were wondering what Clear is. Like I've heard of the other part, but not Clear.
So a couple people said that they switched to YouTube and they're good now. So if you're not hearing on Facebook, switch to YouTube. Hopefully you can hear. I don't know. Some people on Facebook can hear. So I think, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll just put that up there in case they're still watching. So we'll leave it up there for a little bit.
Okay.
We'll come back in and you guys said there were some, Brandy asked this comment here, what's Clear?
Yeah.
And Clear is a service that I think Delta ended up buying out. And it's kind of like a fast pass for TSA. So what they do is they do biometric scans of your irises and then your fingerprints and thumbprints.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, techie.
Yeah. And so what you do is you come back in and you scan your boarding pass on their system. And then my thumbprints never work. So they try to tell me to do thumbs. I just do the iris and it pops right up.
It's because you go to so many water parks.
So yeah, it could be something with that, right? I don't know why. Okay. But either way, thumbprint things never work. They don't work well for me on iPhones either with the thumbprint readers. So I just do the iris scans and then boom. Oh, you're now clear for entry. And then they walk you literally to the front of the pre-check line. And
wow,
they just, say, hey, this guy's with me. And they wave to the TSA officer and you walk right on in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you don't have to if you forget your driver's license or what's that?
You have to take your shoes off still?
Not if you have pre-check, right? Because there's at least in Detroit, there's a pre-check TSA or there's a pre-check Clear and a non-TSA Clear. You could go through either one. So as long as you've got the pre-check, you don't have to take your shoes off through all that stuff, right? But if you get Clear and no pre-check, for some odd reason, pre-check doesn't populate for you, you got to go take all your shoes off and all that other garbage.
Wow.
So, yeah. But anyways, I did Clear. It was like, I want to say $120 something if you have the Delta card or you're a Delta SkyMiles member.
How good is it? How long is it good? Because I know
it's good for a year.
Okay.
And then I was able to add Laura on for $50.
Okay.
Okay. And I looked at it and I was like, man, this thing is such a time saver. We're in and out of Orlando all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Clear doesn't sponsor the show. I just like the service. Okay. Let me just throw that out there as another factor there. But it's such a time saver. And if you don't get TSA pre-check, there was one flight where I could swear to God I had it. And Spirit, why I like them, one of their weaknesses is when you go to check in, your boarding pass on your check-in things shows the pre-check symbol and the number, but that doesn't mean you have it.
Oh.
Okay. It's all about what's printed on the actual boarding pass that they print. And for a while, they had some issues where they weren't printing it when you had it. So the TSA pre-check people are like, nope, if the icon ain't there on the boarding pass, you're out of here. And so that's where Clear saved me. But I rode on a plane to Detroit with a family that was going to Cleveland. And in order for them to get to work on time, they had to fly to Detroit, and their husband had to drive around the lake to pick them up at the Detroit airport and then take them back to Cleveland that night.
Oh my God.
Because they missed their flight due to not having pre-check, and they thought they did.
Oh.
Wow.
So to me, it's just like, yeah, forget it. Forget it. I'll just pay the 100 and something days. But
And it really depends on which airport, like how big it is you fly into. I mean, we go from Grand Rapids to like Clearwater or Sanford or things like that. That I walked in and I was like tempted to take a picture of like the one person in front of me. I was like, I'm glad I got here 2.5 hours early.
Well, right now I have a Facebook cruise group, and I'm the one person that's local. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, it's cheaper to fly into Fort Lauderdale. And I'm like, fly into Fort Lauderdale. It's easier to get in and out of than Miami. It's a little further, but it's much easier to get in and out of. You will thank me. Because Miami is a mess. And now we have Super Bowl coming in 2 weeks. So it's going to be real fun there.
Oh gosh, that's going to be crazy there. But Joe asked which one is faster. And I think he's talking about pre-check or Clear.
Mm-hmm.
And Clear is definitely faster because you don't have any line. It's like the fast pass line for TSA is what I tell Disney people on it. And then it'll take you either through the pre-check process or it'll take you through the normal process. It just gets you past that security guard.
Got it.
And like, if I looked at it as well, like, what if I lose my wallet one day? You can't board a flight without ID, but with Clear, your biometrics are your ID. So all you have to do is get a boarding pass and then scan with your biometrics and you're in. That was another reason why I ended up like doing it. But anyways, that's enough of that rabbit. Okay. Maybe we'll do an episode on it or get somebody from Clear to come join us one night and talk.
That'd be cool to see on how to sign up and how much it is. And maybe every airline is different. I mean, that's a whole suitcase full of fun there.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, especially with all of us going to Orlando as often as we do, we're like their core market because Orlando is just a crazy nut house, right? But Garrett asked this question, pre-check is good for 5 years? Yes. Mm-hmm. And a little tip here as well is if you live in a border state, you can get a global entry or a Nexus and it comes with Clear. Or it doesn't come with Clear, it comes with pre-check. Yeah. And it's $50 as opposed to 85. Okay. But either way, you get the pre-check program with it, cheaper than the pre-check direct. Kind of crazy.
We have the global entry.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because we're in Florida.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, there's your pre-check. So
yeah.
Yep. And then picking up on this other question, John was saying that 13 days to Old Key West.
Hey, maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, no kidding. I got to figure out as well. This is really, really, really bad. Like that Spirit airfare has me going back again on February 7th. So that is literally like 2.5 weeks from today. So I've got 2 countdowns going within the next 30 days. That's crazy. It's crazy. My MDE just looks crazy. I can't keep the trips consistent here. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, so that's going back, and I see Marianne Packard's going home in May in 111 days, which is really awesome. I got a May trip coming up to go to Terry Weaver's The Thing event as well. So
I gotta have my next trips planned. Like you gotta have something in there. I mean, if I could plan for 2022, I'd probably already have that in the books.
We have a lot of little trips. Like I just did our December trip. So I booked our home resort at Saratoga for December, and May we'll try and switch at 7 months, and we'll see. If not, we'll stay at Saratoga for the first time because we still have yet to stay there. And then we have, I think October, we're going for, that's going to be our 4-night that we go for the Halloween party, and then Moonlight Magic for Hollywood Studios, which should be fun. And then, so we have a couple little trips. So I have like 5 trips planned, but some of them are only 1 night, so they really don't count.
Oh, they count. They count. Yeah. You even get it overnight.
Yeah. So, but we're going to try Copper Creek for the first time, and excited about that.
Awesome. So, I mean, I'm really excited to hear what you guys think of Copper Creek, Shannon, because it's Shannon and I, it's Alicia's and I's home resort, or at least one of mine and her home resort. And we absolutely love it there. So we'll be curious to see what you come up with.
Well, we stayed there at Boulder Ridge right after Copper Creek had opened.
Close.
So it was the December after. And so we love Wilderness Lodge, you know, same goes with the toddler, you know, there's no playground, there's no community hall. So for a longer trip, it probably wouldn't work for us. We were able to get by because he was younger, but right now, no playground is a big deal for us. So
it's not far to take the boat over to the campground, and it's right off
that playground's gone.
Oh,
the campground, it's gone.
Oh
yeah, when we went in December and hoop-de-doo, all of that's behind. Now I don't know if it's gone completely. I think they tore it down though. So yeah, with all this construction and all these upgrades to resorts, the playgrounds are the first things to go, we're seeing. So now in probably 3 or 4 years, it's not going to make a difference, but right now it does.
Right now it does.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But I mean, we're only going to be there. We're not even going to be there. I mean, we're going to probably get there, check in, head to Magic Kingdom, come back late at night. We'll probably close the park down and then head out the next day. So we will, you know, really not to get to experience the resort. So it's not going to be a resort stay. We're pretty much staying there but at least we have the boat to Magic Kingdom, which will be convenient.
Yeah, that boat to Magic Kingdom is awesome here. And just to pick up some of these, Grant saying that I love Copper Creek. It's one of his home resorts as well. And then Marianne says her home base is Copper Creek. So yeah, there's some Copper Creek loving out there as well.
And again, when that waitlist came through for a Copper Creek studio, knowing how hard they are, I was pretty shocked because I mean, it's not only a Copper Creek studio, but it's the night of Moonlight Magic. So I was pretty shocked that came through. Got it.
Well, Russell here gives you a really good tip. He's saying that there's a smaller playground inside the actual campground by the RVs.
There's a couple playgrounds throughout, but not necessarily convenient if you're staying at Wilderness Lodge. Before, you just had to walk that path. The path is now closed. And by Hoop-de-Doo, there's no, Trail's Edge, there's no more playground there.
Got it. Well, let's move on to our next topic, and that is Moonlight Magic Meetup, Tuesday night, 1/21. Okay, is anybody listening going to be there? I will be wearing this outfit and one of my new My DVC Points embroidered hats.
What a shenanigan outfit, by the way.
I'm telling you, this is it's got like the Nike golf logo on here, I guess. I got to get my left and right, right?
Other side.
Yep. And then there we go. Like they're both Nike golf. So they're really cool. And
looks good.
Yeah, it does. And I'm really excited. So if anybody's going to Moonlight Magic, be sure to send an IM or post on our Facebook page or in the community group and let me know. I'd love to kind of come in and meet with you guys. Meeting you guys is one of my favorite things to do. And this is a non-family trip. My guy friend, Pat, is going to come down with me. And God bless his heart, he helps me put the dock in and out of the lake in freezing Michigan water every May, and every October we pull it out like iceberg cold water. Okay. And so when I saw the $60 airfare, his wife said no. And I just bought him the ticket anyways. Okay. And I'm just like, Pat, I'll just buy you this for helping with the dock. And he's like, okay, I'll work on her. And he eventually got her to say he could go because I was just like, it's too good a deal to come back up with. And I'm just going to pick up his airfare for all that help with the dock. But
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about the Moonlight. I've only been to the Epcot Moonlight Magic, so I'm looking forward to hearing how the Moonlight Magic is at Animal Kingdom.
Well, and I think that the Pandora Land at night would be incredible.
Oh,
I've
it
been
is.
to Pandora at night. Yeah, it's really nice.
It is. So I've been to one at Moonlight Magic, and I think it was 2017-ish, right when Pandora was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, like, the line was still 2 hours deep for Flight of Passage at Moonlight Magic.
Yeah.
And the line hasn't really dropped much since it opening. I mean, there's still 3-4 hour waits sometimes.
That's where I'm curious, not to change the subject regarding Animal Kingdom, but how the Moonlight Magic in October is going to be at Hollywood Studios with Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
Hopefully they have some things worked out there.
Well,
Okay.
we would hope.
But every single person who gets in is going to want to ride Rise. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be just like Flight of Passage will be over there.
Right.
Okay. It's going to be just like that. Okay. And,
So
So
Mark,
Mark said he's doing the Moonlight Magic in October. I'm planning on being there. Hopefully we get tickets, but I'm planning on being at that one. I think it was Ian said he's not headed to Walt Disney World, but he's headed to Disneyland pretty soon. So I saw that it was a little higher up. I saw that a little while ago, and he's hoping to get on Rise of the Resistance in Disneyland. So I was following on Friday all the opening and the tickets, the boarding passes were gone in 45 seconds, which is crazy.
That doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock me. And by the way, we were supposed to talk about Rise of the Resistance tonight, and Kevin McLeod was supposed to join us.
Okay.
So he had some internet issues. He like threw a fit at the cable company. He's got a guy dispatched out to his house today to get it. So hopefully he gets his internet fixed for next week, and we'll be back and we'll be talking Rise of the Resistance. And I think Richard and Sarah from Skywalking Through Neverland will join us as well. Mm-hmm. And I know they had...
If you're listening, I'm with you because my internet at my house is down. So I am in my liquor cabinet at the golf course. You should see how much alcohol is around me. Trying to find good Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And so, definitely tune in next week, because next week it's going to be a really, really, really fun show, because Richard and Sarah are just like the ultimate Star Wars geeks that I know and love. And they are just off the charts Star Wars fans, and so positive and so much fun. And then you've got Kevin with them as well. So we're going to have a really good show next week, and I'll probably do some more promotions on that one coming up, but that's a pebble in your pond for next week, guys.
So Sharon said we did the Moonlight Magic at Animal Kingdom. The line was still long. We also did the after hours in October. We rode Flight of Passage over and over, no wait. So I actually did Animal Kingdom after hours in December 2018. It was the second time it was offered, and we rode it twice, and we were fine. But it was pretty awesome. Like there was no line. We literally walked in, and there was the thing that took the longest was the pre-show. So even we didn't even actually have to exit. They just walked us right back through and got right. So we got off the ride and we said, can we ride again? So we didn't have to exit. We were able to get right back on. So I'm curious to see how I'm anxious to hear back of how they handle it with Moonlight Magic and how Flight of Passage, because I think there's not that many rides to absorb the people at Moonlight Magic at Animal Kingdom.
No, and they typically shut down the safari somewhat earlier. Okay.
Well,
the safari doesn't go until Moonlight, right?
Epcot
until midnight.
Yeah. Epcot, when we went in May, we were trying to meet up, and we went to Test Track, and Test Track ended up being a 45-minute wait. And we didn't know that. It said it was 20 minutes when we got in line, but we ended up waiting 45 minutes, and we actually never got to meet up because it took so long. So it's just that there's besides Magic Kingdom, a lot of those parks just don't have the ride capacity to absorb a lot of people. So the rides tend to get some long lines.
Right, without the shows. They don't have all the shows going, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and with Epcot, World Showcase was closed. I mean, you had the Mexico and Norway for the rides, but that was it. The rest of World Showcase was completely closed. So,
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Who knows? I mean, Everest should be walk on through Moonlight Magic, because usually at the end of the night, it's usually pretty walk on a normal night. So I'm assuming we'll be able to hit that one hard and heavy. Dinosaur should be walk on. And I mean, if we can get Flight of Passage in a few times, that'd be awesome. But again, my priority is like meeting people. So
it's just being there. It's fun. It's free.
I think that's the difference between the after dark parties and the Moonlight ones. Is the Moonlight ones sell out because they're free and you get free food and free Mickey bars?
That's what I'm saying. Is this one does it include a meal? Because I know last year Epcot included a free dinner. Does this include a free dinner as well?
Yeah, I think you get a $15 voucher.
Okay.
And you can use it at like Restaurantosaurus, Pizzasaurus, Flame Tree. And I think this year Sully Canteen is on there.
Ooh, okay. So Sully Canteen.
Yeah. So I can tell you right now where I'm going. Okay.
No, that's awesome.
Because that place isn't on tables in Wonderland and everybody else is. So it's Chad doesn't like paying retail for anything. Okay. It's just
so Sully Canteen and then Nomad is our spot.
And how many hours is Moonlight usually open? I mean, it's not that long of a day.
3? Is it 3 hours?
Yeah, it's usually like 9 to midnight.
Yeah. So that's honestly a lot to get done in a short time.
And I think the difference between Moonlight Magic and After Hours, sorry to interrupt you, is that when you're doing After Hours, you paid for it. So you're like, I want to do as much as I can because we paid for it. Where it was a little bit more relaxed with Moonlight Magic because it was free. So you're just kind of like, oh, we'll go right here. We'll go to this character. I didn't feel like the need to do as much as possible because, again, we didn't pay for it. When you're going After Hours, you paid for it. So you want to maximize, at least that's me. You want to maximize, the money that you spent.
And on the Moonlight, do you get in a couple hours early by any chance? Like, when I go to the Mickey party, I can get in earlier than what it actually says.
I know for Magic Kingdom, it said we could get in at 6. I think they close at 8 or 9 that night. So I know we can get at 6. I don't know the time for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Is it 6 as well?
It is. And Mark just comments here, Mickey bars just makes it worth it. So yeah. And I know I met Gina at California last year as well. And we could enter in 6 as well in California. So,
and that's nice. So you can probably get a fast pass or 2 in there as well.
If you have tickets, yeah.
Oh, you have to have a ticket in order
to have a ticket to make a fast pass. Yeah.
Because on the Christmas party, that is my ticket, and I can get fast passes with that ticket.
But that's a ticket, yeah. The Moonlight Magic does not show up on your MDE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if your annual pass it doesn't affect, but right now our annual passes are expired and we don't have tickets because we don't have a trip anytime soon planned. So we would not be able to make fast passes, but
yeah, I mean,
it'll be my son's first Moonlight Magic. So we learned that he can stay up late. Yeah, we learned he can stay up late. So we're going to see how late he can actually stay up.
Yeah, Scott here says, I've done the after hours paying and I make my money back on the snacks. Okay. Doesn't take too many fully priced Mickey bars to come up with something on that one.
We had a cast member give us a bag and just fill it with Diet Coke and water, which was really nice because it was our first night when we did Magic Kingdom. It was our first night. So we walked out with like probably 10 like waters and Diet Coke. So
yeah. After the Halloween party, we came home with 18 pounds of candy, and that was after eating it the whole time.
But the thing with the Halloween candy is that's the candy I pass out.
Yeah.
I don't buy candy anymore. We just go to the Halloween party, we save it, and then that's what our neighbors get.
I use that for like soccer. As the soccer mom, here kids, here's a bunch of candy.
Got it. So so that's Moonlight Magic, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to meeting people. That's my favorite thing, okay? And the character meets as well. They bring out the rare characters at Moonlight Magic. And so if you're a character person, that's the time to come back in and hit those rare characters as well. So that's the really cool part about Moonlight Magic, okay?
So who's your rare character you're going to look for?
I don't know. Okay. You don't know until you get there as to who's coming out.
If it's the first party, so if there's I think there's 2 or 3 for Animal Kingdom, but the first party, they won't announce it until that day.
Oh, fun.
So I know for Magic Kingdom, we're the second party. So hopefully we'll have an idea of what they're going to be offering. But yeah, the first party kind of go in blind.
Yeah, that's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know, right?
But they're just fun, and it really is such an awesome perk. Like if there's one perk that is worth it to be a direct member, it's Moonlight Magic. I mean,
oh, absolutely. Okay, Moonlight Magic, the annual pass discount. Now you're a Florida resident,
right?
Do you get those, right? But I've been sitting here telling Alicia, you need to just like pony up the dough and buy that annual pass. Okay.
It just doesn't add up on how when we get to go. If we weren't having to go on Christmas holidays and now we're going to Disneyland instead. I mean, I looked into that one, $2,000 for Disneyland and Disney World.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm like, and we built it all out, and I can go to, and we're only there for 5 nights, so I'm like, and we're only going to go to probably 3 days of parks. And if I went to Hoppers every day, I'm still coming out ahead. The big thing though, that I really would love to have annual passes is so we could go more often. But with high school kids, it's just, it landlocks you into, sports and that kind of stuff, so that you kind of have to, I'm the balance of, I go at Christmas time, and we have to go, and we go big, and then we go open to close every time we're there. But there is ways to do it as well. So hopefully I'll get that annual pass, and I'm going to be that person on that, that 24-hour challenge.
I had you almost convinced last time. And I think you had bought after hours tickets, and they wouldn't let you convert them into the annual pass or hold that money back.
Party. They wouldn't let us change the Christmas party money into pushing it towards the annual pass. Yeah. So that's kind of it, right? No.
And
I would have bought it this time too. But it's a blackout during Christmas. So, $200 more to have no blackout times 6.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yep.
And the thing is with Florida residents too, that we have an advantage is we can make payments.
That's right.
So
I still think they need to just roll that into our dues. Okay. Because there's a lot of members who pay their dues with monthly payments.
Mm-hmm.
I think they ought to just combine that billing and just give you a 0 interest on the annual pass and just put it in with your dues and put it on auto payment and be done with it.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way that could happen. And I don't see why they don't. They'd sell more annual passes.
Right. That would make it a lot easier, and Florida in-state has a couple of other options too, like just a Monday through Friday pass or a after pass. And so they just have a few more options. But it is nice that they do give a DVC option as a discount. It's just hard on that, like you said, that Christmas time. You're like, well, that's like the only, like there's 3 weeks you're not allowed to use it. And you're like, oh, just let us go whenever. Come on.
And as a Florida resident, it's the 3 weeks that I don't want to go.
Right. Yeah.
Like Easter and Christmas. Yeah, I'm not.
Yep.
Going.
Nope. Mm-mm.
You're right. And there's ways to get it done though. I can get, well, we did have.
Yeah. And I actually have a friend today text me and she's like, we're going during spring break. What's your advice? And I was like, my advice is not to go. But I mean, she's got 2 girls and she doesn't want to take them out of school. So that's when they're going. So I'm trying to help her with a plan of attack, but also trying to give her a clear understanding of what she's going to be walking into. So
yeah.
And spring break isn't as bad as others though, because not everybody in the world celebrates spring break at the same time.
This year, I think it's a little bit better because I think it's a little bit more broken up because I've heard of people having spring break in April. Where
about 9 years ago, our spring break here in Michigan fell off cycle from the normal Easter spring break cycle, and we were able to go for a week, and it was really nice and not crowded, and it wasn't insanely expensive because it wasn't near that Easter time.
Well, that's Tom Voss from Welcome Home. He said they're going. His wife's a teacher. They're going because spring break is the week of Moonlight Magic of April. I think it's April 20th is the week that they're going. And he looked and it's an off week. It's not, there's no blackout. He can go. So, but that happens to be the spring break that where his wife works. So that's when they're going. And it's not supposed to be a busy week. So we'll see.
And the weather is better than Christmas. I mean, I've been down there way too many times with winter hats and coats. It's still there. You know, spring break, it's like when you go to Florida, you want it to be 80.
March is nice. February and March are nice times to go too. So
yeah. Yep. So I'm just going to pick up this one comment here because it made me laugh. And my buddy Randy says, Chad, I'm available to help put your boat in the water. And I could also use an annual pass. And well, all I paid for was a $60 airfare ticket. Okay. He had to buy his own park ticket, which we eventually got the wife to agree to on that one. But I'm just warning you, Randy, Michigan water in May. Tell him, Alicia, it's not for the faint of heart. Okay.
I can't believe you put it in May. Oh, geez, that's cool.
Yeah. And then we milk it because there's always this one really Indian summer kind of a weekend where it's all the leaves in full color and orange and that, but it's 80. And that's a great time to go out on the boat that day. But the water's still cold because it's just like a flash heat day in October. And we always wait to get that done and then we pull it out.
We had a snow day in October. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, we want to move topics as well tonight to come back in and talk about Alicia's new obsession. Okay. And it sounds like you and your daughters kind of got into this whole Loungefly deal, Alicia.
Well, they're kind of cute. You know, my daughter, I have lots of teenagers, and my number 3 kid is Allie, and she, for probably 2 years, wanted this adorable little bag, right? And one of these tiny little backpacks that my husband is like, these are ridiculous. They are so tiny. You can't stick anything in them. Like, what is the purpose of this? So she saved up all of her money, and that's what she bought last time we were at Disney, which was Thanksgiving. So, so not too long ago. And then, you go sit on Santa's lap with her and her little sister. And then, what would you like? Oh, dear Santa, I want another Loungefly. I'm like, you just got one 2 minutes ago. Like, really? So now they both want little Loungeflies. And Santa came through within like 2 days, which is pretty amazing. And he ended up coming back with this one, which is really cute. And it was, so of course, Lilo and Stitch was our favorite. But it's different. So it's a little bigger. And this one is cloth. So it's kind of nice that it's big enough that you can put, a lot more into it. I love how good quality they are, and inside is all these little, stitchies and stuff. And then this one over here is, Santa, because Santa's pretty cute. And then it fits. She still wears it all the time. We were kind of worried that it was going to be just like a seasonal thing, but it's not. Like, she still took it up to Great Wolf Lodge and stuff this weekend, and she carried this all around for it. So that was pretty fun. So, and as we grow with them, I can see how they would be really cute to bring with you, not only to Disney, but to everywhere. You could bring them to school. I mean, she could put her, her gym stuff in it, or her basketball.
I think this is what sold me on them, because I was thinking the same thing that Bill was.
Yeah.
And then when I realized that this is a purse replacement, I kind of looked at it. I was like, oh, well, that's kind of a plus size purse that's easier to carry because it's kind of a backpack. So I could start to see some more utility in it. But I mean, I didn't have a dog in that fight. I wouldn't. I'm like, look, if you guys want them, I think I bribed Bryn into riding Incredicoaster with one of them.
Oh,
that was what.
There's so, I mean, it's not even, I mean, there's like hundreds of them. There's so, I mean, right now I've seen all the villains. They have the pumpkin one that was really popular during Halloween, the Santa one, which is adorable. So there's just so many. I have a Mouseketeer one. So I just stuck with Mickey.
Okay.
Well, and they're so cute when you look at them that you just makes you think of Disney.
Yeah. Samantha says she has a Loungefly wall in her office.
Oh my God, I need pictures. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, Samantha, you need to send over some pictures and we'll get those shared up. Or I don't know, can you join us tonight with the MyDVC Point / join live and come back in and show us from your phone?
And there's so many different sizes, but prices too. I mean, they range from
they're not Dooney price, but they're not cheap either. They're like 75 to 90 is what they tend to be.
There's some like designer ones that are like, hundreds and hundreds, but
So I'm going to chime in here because I don't have that much wall space. I have ears. I don't have another wall for Loungeflies. But I did mention before we went live that I have one that I'm going to be raffling off in a Instagram raffle. So I'll just post it here. It's not going to be tomorrow, but it'll be soon. So if you follow me on Disney Days Family, so this is the Loungefly that I have it's a small world.
Oh, cute.
And I'll be raffling this off for people who follow me on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. It'll post probably before the end of the month. But if you're interested in a Loungefly and not have to pay for it, I'll pay for shipping. Follow me on Instagram. So, and then I'll be posting more information on how to enter that raffle.
And that one looks so nice. You could use that every day.
I like it. I mean, I'm not good with white, so it's probably good that I'm gonna not keep it. But yeah, it's really cute. But like I said, I can't have another obsession because I'm out of wall space.
Well, I've got room. I'll take the hit. You know, I've got some wall space in my little liquor cabinet room. So.
Oh my gosh, Samantha's already sent over the photos. I can't quite get them up in time.
Uh-huh.
And
she's like, I'm in my PJs. I get you. You know, I get you, Samantha.
Well, anything I can find
in.
those hidden Mickeys. Like I like the bags that have hidden Mickey. Now the downside is that when we are flying, that's what my daughter chose as her carry-on. Yeah, that didn't.
Yeah. So Samantha said, she goes, outfits got to match the bag. So you got to match the ears. And I get you. I get you on that. See, there you go.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
here's some of Samantha's wall. I can kind of cheat and do it this way. Okay. So, and then
so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so she has the small world one. There you go.
Yep, she's got the small world one. And then will this open up?
Great.
And she
I'm
has the
clicking.
the Christmas snacks, which was really, really popular during Christmas time. That was the black one that in the first picture.
There we go.
Oh.
It wouldn't show it because I had already opened it, but it looks like there's a Pocahontas one and a Dumbo one. And
They are so cute. So
Yeah.
my new obsession one I'm trying to hold off on is the Star Wars ones. I mean, there's so many of those right now, and they're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's kind of the Loungefly thing. Is anybody else out there like a complete Loungefly hound? I mean,
And they have the purses that match and the wallets that
And
match.
they have the wallets and the lanyards. So the lanyards
and the ears that match. Okay, Brenda.
That's new. That's something new. And I think they're going to start doing that more because that's something they just started and it took off. It took off because everybody got both. And the ears were like $48. So they weren't cheap.
Well, they made one to match the Millennium Pink ears that Bryn already had.
Right.
Okay. And so
Mhm.
that's the one she held out for over at Incredicoaster.
Okay.
So yes, I'm not above bribing my kids to go on a ride for the first time. And it kind of backfired because she really hated the ride. She did not like going upside down at all. And she's 8. Okay. So yeah. Oh, well. And then Space Mountain, this last trip, Lincoln held out for, he wanted 2 pet rats. And I was like, no. Nope. No pet
Yeah.
rats in our house. So
Well,
sorry,
I'm with Maria. Maria says that she prefers a Dooney for day, but the Loungeflies are great for the parks. So and then Brandy has a Disney Dooney obsession, but that's expensive.
Yeah,
I have one DVC Dooney that I love, but I just have one.
You let me know when those, hit the outlet.
The outlet, yeah. So I was telling everyone, just so you know, I live about 15 miles from the South Florida Disney outlet. So the Loungeflies occasionally come there. The Dooney that I did get was originally $268. I got it for $66.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a pretty, I was like, it's a practically free, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I'm very fortunate to live so close to one of the outlets. I haven't gotten, but the Loungeflies, they go fast. I mean, they literally come off the truck and they're gone. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Samantha was saying if you want to pay retail, check Box Lunch. They have exclusive designs. And then you live near the outlet, right, Shannon? So
Yep. Yeah.
I think pre-show you were saying that the Mickey one is up on the outlet right now.
The Santa one is at the outlet. I think it's 41, but I saw it on Shop. I don't think it's on Shop Disney anymore, but at Shop Disney it was cheaper right after Christmas. So the outlet's good, but sometimes the outlet prices, you can find stuff if they're on sale or on clearance on Shop Disney, you might get a better price. So it's just, you kind of have to hit or miss. And the thing with the outlet is you just don't know what's there. You kind of just show up and you just kind of find out what's out there. So there's some YouTube and some Facebook groups that you can kind of get an idea of what's there. But again, sometimes things come off the bus or off the truck and it's gone within 30 minutes. So, you can't hold out. You can't go there wanting something specific because you're probably not going to get it.
No. Like you can come back in, and if you're close or local, I like coming into them to see some things that I've been looking at buying, but never could like justify the cost.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I start to see it at the outlet store and it's a quarter of the price. And I'm we now have a Disney Christmas tree. I started that last year. So throughout the year, I kind of would visit there whenever I could and get Christmas ornaments. So now all the Christmas ornaments are coming in. So I was able to get some Christmas ornaments that I was kind of eyeing in December that were $25, and I got them for $8. Yeah. So they've hit the outlet. So I got about 4 or 5 the other day. So I'll just, save them. So my Christmas tree will be fuller. And a lot of the Christmas stuff, a lot of the Halloween stuff came in. So we got some good Halloween stuff, but you kind of just go and find stuff. And now they're getting magic bands, which is interesting, which they just started getting. So I don't get that because I don't use a magic band. I use one of the little keepers. The magic band. I use the magic,
the puck. I use the puck holder.
Yeah. So,
but my son loves having the different styles of magic band. Like I think I've created a monster because he likes coordinating it with his outfit too, and he's 4.
And
he comes by it honestly, okay. I mean, but yeah, see, I love my little keeper thing. And then when I was at WDI headquarters with McNair, I was able to buy this official Disney cast member pull chain.
Nice.
And it's from WDI on it, and it says that. And then I put my reusable straw on there that I keep bringing to Orlando, but forgetting to take to the park. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to clip it onto this now. And now I'm not going to forget it because I can't get into the park without that.
Okay.
So that's my strategy, at least to see what happens.
Well, a friend of mine, she has a puck. It's MB2 slider puck holder. I don't know. She makes them. I should probably plug her, but I forgot. And it attaches to my watch. So I would put it here, and then it's just a lot easier because otherwise you have 2. And it's just a little cumbersome.
Yeah,
so
I tried that for a while, and I kept getting like the RF interference out of Apple Watch.
Oh, see, now that hasn't
was messing with the doors at the resort. So, and they were telling me that sometimes the doors pick up your Apple Watch as opposed to the RF out of this, and it doesn't pick this up. And I was just having all kinds of issues.
Yeah, then it's not worth it.
No, so that's when I went away from those because I really liked them as well. Because I would put the Magic Band sliders on my watch and and then have only one hand to deal with, right?
Right.
But anyways, so let's pick up a couple of these Dooney comments and then we'll move over to your trip report there. But so Maria's saying she prefers Dooney for day to day, but the Loungeflies are great for the parks. Gina makes a comment that I like the Harvey's belt bags, the OC original. And I don't think I know what those are.
I know the Harvey bags because I've seen a couple come through the outlet, but that's all I know of them. They're cute though.
Yeah. And then Brandy says she probably has 10 plus Doonies. And then Lynn comments that my wife loves her Doonies. And Lauren is a Dooney fan as well. And she also says that Loungefly has a ton of sales on their own website.
Okay.
And then Mark made the comment, I purchased one Dooney and Burt purse for my wife years ago. She used it so much that it wore out.
And then Lauren chimed in that the Niners are going to the Super Bowl, which we kind of missed that game.
Yeah, that's true. Which, speaking of which, we will not be doing a live show the night of the Super Bowl. Okay. I'm just not going to compete with the #1 television program out there. So maybe we'll move it to like Monday night or some other night that week. We'll check everybody's schedules and see what works out. But I'm with you, Mark. I purchased, I think Laura one, and then I got Reagan and Bryn Doonies from Club 33 on my visits there. And so, yeah, so they hang on to those things and kind of cherish them because those things are like really, 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 really like impossible to get.
Yeah.
And you look at them on eBay and they're going for like $500 on eBay. So I'm like, you guys better not lose these things or let somebody steal it because it has eBay value, right? It's just crazy. Crazy. But yeah, so that's a lot of fun there. But Alicia, now you did this 24-hour challenge. We talked about this a couple weeks back about, is it possible to buzz down to Orlando for a day and come back in a single day? How did that work out for you?
So in the teenage world, there's a lot of, I don't know if you guys all have, teens out there that are into these 24-hour challenges. Well, my oldest son, Will, he is now going into a little bit of like a different path, I'd say, for after college, and he wants to go have a store and things like that. So, but he can't take any more time off of school because he's a senior. So we did a 24-hour challenge where we hopped on an airplane at 6 a.m. So that means we left our house at 2:30 in the morning. We got on the airplane, we flew direct. So it was like 2.5 hours to Sanford, which I'm not great at flying yet. So I thought I flew to Orlando, but I guess Sanford is close enough. It worked. So, and it actually worked really good because like we were talking before, no problem with getting boarding, no problem with getting.
Yeah, it's a tiny airport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were like in, out. It was probably better in the long run. So we went to the Surf Expo for the day. We just, so we, saw a lot of his big main contacts. We saw the Juke Squad down there. We got to play, the guitars with a few, people up on, on top of, vans and that kind of stuff, and saw, surfers. But I'm bringing this to DVC, saying that it is totally doable. Like, so if I did ever invest into an annual pass, I could 100% see saying, hey, it's my birthday and I want to go eat at Disney today, and flying and that 6 a.m. flight, fly down to Sanford, get an Uber. So like we just, no rental car, no paperwork. We called an Uber. It was $50. So you hop in an Uber, you don't have to deal with anything. They dropped you off at the door. And then you could go in, and if you had an annual pass, you could go in, ride a couple rides, maybe have a fast pass or two, have a great dinner. We were there for quite a bit of time. So like we flew in, we got there at 8:30 in the morning. We were at the Surf Expo it didn't even take an hour to get there. So you could probably get to Disney within an hour. And so you were there, let's say 10 o'clock, 10:30, and you'd have all day. And then our flight didn't leave until 8 p.m. So if you had some cool, magic passes to get onto the airplane, you wouldn't have to get there so early. But I mean, even if you were, at the parks until 4 or 5 o'clock, I mean, that leaves you a whole afternoon to eat and have just this whole magical moment of sunshine. So it worked out really great. By the time we got home, we flew in, we were home by like 10:30, landed by 10:30, and then home. And actually our flight home was a little delayed. So we got home about 11:15. And then, landed 11:15, and then home by like about 1:30 in the morning. So it was about 24 hours that we were awake.
Wow.
But it was insane and a lot of fun. I was happy I didn't get airsick because I am a puker. So,
okay. So you definitely recommend that then. If you can.
As long as you believe in your your airplane and your services, and direct flights are the way to go. So Lynn was asking where we flew out of. We flew out of Grand Rapids. So it was a 2.5 hour flight, and the price was like way back in the top. I think someone was posting about the pricing from Grand Rapids. You can get airfare, like it was $66 for a trip to LA last week. I mean, so for us, we flew for $200 round trip total for the two of us for one day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. You got to love those deals. And that cheap airfare is what led to my trip as well, because I looked at it and we have a February use year. So us going in January on DVC points, a little bit risky because you can't cancel. I mean, if I cancel at the end of December, 31 days in advance, I only have 30 days to use the dumb things. Okay. Yeah. So it's really, really, really dicey and risky. But I saw this like $60 airfare pop up, and I looked at it, and they had the 35% off for DVC members if you paid cash to stay at Riviera. So I looked at the prices on that and realized, hey, look, I'm just going to rent my points out through DVC rental store. And I rented out like 92 points over at Poly and got enough income to pay cash for the 2 nights in the 1-bedroom preferred, and just called it did my own point swap, so to speak.
Right.
Okay. And we went down there because I also needed to review the resort for this upcoming series, which we record that show on Thursday night this week is when it's getting recorded, hopefully to air on Wednesday. So we'll have to like really get our, act together and get that thing done and published and all that kind of fun stuff. Because normally it's a couple of weeks out. I like to have.
Well, I'm really looking forward to hearing your review on Riviera, because I've been listening to all the latest episodes of people who've bought in, but no one's actually stayed there yet. So I'm looking forward to hearing your review since you did stay there.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to come back in and do that. And I won't do too many spoilers. I will just tell everybody this. So if you have the opportunity, okay, and if the opportunity presents you to get a ADR over at Topilino's Terrace, go for breakfast. It's character dining. It was by far the best meal we have ever had at Disney. Okay, I'm not kidding. I am like, Ohana for dinner was my number one. This thing like ate Ohana for lunch. It was that awesome. And
that's hard to do. So
that is really hard to do for me. I didn't think anybody would dethrone Ohana, but these guys did it. And I was talking with Tamara, our server, who's friends with somebody in the My DVC Points community. He goes, yeah, you really want Tamara as my server, as a server. She's awesome. She's a friend of mine. So she was telling me, she was like, yeah, when we opened up, we had 3 main goals. And because they looked at all of the character dining experiences out there, and they went, you can go like to Chef Mickey's where the characters are on point, but the food is not that great.
Right.
Okay. Or you could get good service, but the characters are kind of shoddy. Or, it's like you could get one of the 3 depending on where you went. And she was like, our deal for our character breakfast was we want the best food on property. And they do. They have like the chef that designed the evening 2 signature deal, designed the whole menu for breakfast. It's priced like a Disney cruise line, like the fixed price.
Right.
So you can order as much as you want. They don't tell you this too much, but if you want 2 steaks, you can get 2 steaks.
wow.
Okay. She was telling me that the croissant there was just to die for good. And I'm going, yeah, but I had the steak last night for dinner and the steak was pretty decent. I'd like to try it again for breakfast. She's just like, okay, do you want the steak? And I'll just bring you the croissant without the salad or stuff, the accompaniments. I was like, yeah, do that. And the ham on this croissant, I kid you not, was like this thick. Okay. You could swear it was a Michigan Jewish or New York Jewish deli. Okay. Where they just like hook you up with like great quality meat and like a whole stack of it. It had that level of quality to it. Okay. Because I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever tried a Jewish deli, like a legit kosher Jewish deli, they are by far the best sandwiches I've ever had. Okay. Like nothing hangs with them.
They don't
like,
skip. Yeah.
No. They take good care of you. And so you had that level on a buttery French croissant. Okay. That had the different cheeses in there. And oh my gosh, it was wonderful. Right. But everybody had that same thing to say on our table. Because we looked at this and we were like, well, I guess we should try everything. We are doing a podcast review. Okay?
So did you have to pay for every choice? Or
it's one price. It's like $41. Okay.
So it's kind of like it's an all you can eat type deal. Yeah.
Yes, it's all you can eat, but it's plated. Okay. It's not like a buffet deal where it's like mass trough style food. They individually prepare your plates for you and you can try as much as you want or eat as much as you want.
So it feels like a cruise ship, kind of how they do dinner that way.
Yeah.
We have reservations for the breakfast in May. So
yeah, I'm telling you, I look forward to hearing your take on it, Shannon, because for our family, it was like, oh yeah, by far hands down. And normally my family would rope me into going to like Ohana's breakfast because they really like Stitch.
Right.
and to go hang with them, they were like, no, we're coming back here. And
Oh,
I'm like, yes, I don't have to go to.
bringing the boozy part of me in there. Can I go and just, use the bar?
I would imagine that if you went up there and said, hey, look, it's just I need to seat at the bar and go do a drink, they may let you up there.
I just
Okay.
want to see the view, right?
I'll see if I can find out an answer for you on that one. But yeah, and then we were there for the fireworks show at night. I did some streams from there from breakfast and dinner. If you go to the My DVC Points page, and the fireworks show up there is pretty darn good. I kind of think it's weird because it's sitting in the back of the building, and you've got to look over, that rivet, that tower where the tower studios are, and the big cap that's on it. That's like view blocking from the main fireworks. Okay. And I was like, that's just kind of a really weird place to have this. And why didn't they put this up front where you could really just take in the Epcot fireworks? And they're amazing from up there, like jaw-dropping, amazing, awesome. Even the kites that were lit up, you can't see it too well on the stream, but when you're up there, they're clear as day. Okay.
Wow.
With the kites that are zooming by and Epcot forever, and really, 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 really cool.
And if people haven't seen that yet, it's a really kind of fun thing that they've added with like these kite drones that fly all the way around the lake. And it's like, that wowed us during that show. We were like, wow, that's so different.
So Barbara said she's going to try for reservation for her trip in May. I would check. I had to change our days in May, kind of changed for some other reasons. And there's plenty of reservations open for breakfast. I didn't check for dinner, but for breakfast there was. I think the Disney community knows about the restaurant, but other people don't. So it's not filling up. I
think that's it, right? I think the people that are tuning into our shows and those of us who jump on this to do a review are coming back in. I have not heard anybody say anything but phenomenal results.
So I think right now you can still get a reservation without 6 months, even 3 or 4 months. That's going to change. That is going to change. So,
that is this will be 180-day ADR breakfast. Mark my words on it, guys.
Well, there's not a lot of character meals that include Mickey that are off-site. They're, you have Tusker House, but you have to go inside the park. So you have Chef Mickey's, you have Ohana, but that's it. That include Mickey. So there's not a lot of choices if you don't.
Kate Mays has Mickey.
No, it doesn't have Mickey. It only has Minnie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I could swear there was a Mickey there.
No.
So,
and if you're like me that doesn't have an annual pass,
exactly.
So I don't like burning a meal at all when I go to a park.
Yeah.
Like, that's my non-park day.
Right.
Which would be perfect. Okay. Especially if you're staying at Riviera, it is so easy to just walk over to the corner, take the elevator to the 10th floor, and boom, you're there. Okay. Like super, 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 super easy.
Now, is there any other DVC resorts on the gondola that would work?
Nope. But I mean, if you're going, chances are the Skyliner is working. So if you were staying at Art or Pop or Caribbean Beach, you could probably walk over from Caribbean Beach through one side of the lake or the other. Okay. But you could always Skyliner there. Okay. From Art or Pop. And that wouldn't be a bad deal. Or somebody asked this question this week as well. How do I get there from Animal Kingdom? And my advice was take a bus to Hollywood Studios and then Skyliner over to Riviera. That's how I would get there on the cheap. Okay.
Yeah. Don't think that you can go to Epcot because that was the big thing. Because Epcot was in the back of the park. You have to go to Hollywood if you're going to go.
Right.
Yep. So Maria asked, it's a set price, not a per meal choice. That is 100% correct. It's like 20 something per kid. I think maybe 27, and it was 41 for adults. And at the time, they said they were only taking the DVC Blue Card discount. However, the night before, they started taking tables in Wonderland, and the official website lists them with no exclusions. I didn't know there was no exclusions listed, but she checked with her supervisor and said, nope, we're not doing tables in Wonderland, but the website says you are, and it doesn't say dinner only. So I didn't know that. Otherwise, I had to push back a little bit, but that's what I would push back with if the website is still up to date when you're there and you have a tables card, is going, look, because you can clearly go to other restaurants that are on the tables program and see that it says, dinner only or breakfast only. It has all the other
So
different
they were
exclusions.
saying that it wasn't being accepted for breakfast, is what you were saying.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. But they did definitely take it for dinner the night before.
Okay.
Okay. And again, we were staying there and we were going there for the sole purpose of consuming everything that they have at the resort so I could do this podcast review. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why we were like really focused on Riviera, because
Or more breakfast or dinner.
it's not even like favorite meal on all of Disney for breakfast.
For breakfast. Okay.
Yeah. So for dinner, the fireworks were the key of the show. Okay.
So
And
we'll listen
so-
to your podcast on the review.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Shannon and I
Stay tuned.
need to go as being gluten free and I'm dairy free, so that because it looked like they had a ton of different like cheese options. So I mean, it would be fun to go. I think we need to go, Shannon, and go from our point of view too.
Yeah, that definitely is. And so Brandy says that she has a dinner at Topilino's booked for April. If you can change it to breakfast, you will thank me. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Trying to keep that positive there.
Okay.
But overall, just throw a couple pebbles in your pond on the Riviera Resort. Liked it. I think they've got the room preferences backwards at the
I
resort.
heard that. I've heard a lot of that. I think that's going to be interesting how that pans out in the future.
I think seriously they're going to come back in and redo those point charts, okay? Because the most preferable rooms have the Epcot view, and it's a great view from a high up room because it's a tower. And you look at this and go, at Magic Kingdom, you look across a parking lot, or excuse me, at Bay Lake Tower, you look across a parking lot to get the preferred views of Magic Kingdom. Well, who cares that I got to look across a parking lot in a road? I'm probably just as close to the Epcot fireworks or closer to the Epcot fireworks from Riviera than you are from Bay Lake Tower. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to be honest with you. So I'm going, y'all just messed this up. Okay.
Because the preferred view overlooks Caribbean Beach, whereas the standard view overlooks the parking lot, but the parking lot overlooks Epcot and you can see the fireworks at night. So during the day, you're looking at a parking lot, but at night, you're looking at the fireworks from the standard view. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. And I got to tell you, we had a preferred view and it was nice looking down at the Sivu Play children's play area.
Right.
And it's a spoiler alert there. That's my number one kids splash pad.
It looks great. My son's not a big splash pad kid. He doesn't really like them. He hated the one at Grand Floridian because it splashed so much water. This one actually looks like one he might enjoy.
Yeah. Well, here's what I like about it is I remember when I was a kid and I've seen my kids do this.
Mhm.
They have so much fun playing in the water. They don't care how cold it is.
Uh-huh.
You can't get them out of there. This thing has heated water in the kids' splash area.
Wow.
That's nice.
Okay. Because it was like 70 degrees and slightly chilly.
Right.
I mean, we were out there like at the end of the night because I'm going, look, man, I don't care that I've done the parks all day, blah, 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 blah. I have an hour and a half before I got to be at dinner at Topilino's. So suit up, kid. We got to go hit this because we got a podcast review to do. And I'm so glad that I did. That little children's play area, phenomenal for a water park deal. Now, I know it's not your dry playground that you want to just go burn some energy out, Shannon.
Yeah.
But I can't
No, but
say
it looks
enough
really
great
nice.
things
It
about it.
does look really nice.
Yeah. So that's just kind of the teaser of what's coming up in the podcast review, guys. And let's see, Joe Woofers is signed up, Amy is signed up, and Caleb's watching tonight, and I saw some of his posts as well. So we're going to come back in and just cuss and discuss this resort top to bottom, what we like, what we don't like, and give a very honest review. I paid cash for this myself. It was not hosted. So it will be a brutally honest review of everything. And overall, it's like me. I mean, 90% of me is positive about Disney and respectful. So that's what you can expect in that episode coming up on the Riviera. And that's kind of about it. And let's see. We'll throw up Scott's comment here and then we'll talk about that. He goes, I took a tour of the Riviera last week and absolutely loved it. Got to see the tower studio, the regular studio, the one bedroom, and the grand villa. all I could say was absolutely incredible.
What a tour. Holy cow.
Yeah, so
It really
let's
was incredible.
I saw that come up and we'll comment on it as well. If you go, okay, go at the beginning of your trip and they're doing this thing there called a member update. Okay. And a lot of timeshares do this as member updates, and all it is a sales pitch to see if that you can come back in and want to buy some more points. Okay. So they did a little mini D23 presentation up in the Grand Villa. And so you got a little Riviera gift bag that had a really fancy Riviera Rice Krispie treat in it.
Oh.
And then they had snacks like chips and Coke and things like that. And then you also got this really cool, let me see if I can hold it up in front of the camera here.
Nice.
Right. So you got this really cool Riviera pin that's got Mickey and Minnie and their fancy duds.
Oh.
And so that was there. And you walk through the Grand Villa. They converted the Grand Villa into a meeting room space. So there's all kinds of chairs in there that you wouldn't normally see.
Okay.
But you did get to walk through the Grand Villa. And I did a little bit of a live through there.
I did see your live.
Yeah, go back through that. I kind of waited till everybody left because I'm like, they probably don't want to be caught in my live. and I can respect that. They're on vacation. I don't want to interrupt and share their time there. Okay, they may not want to be on a live stream. So we ended up doing that, and then you meet with a guide, and they walk you through the a lock-off unit, so you can see the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and then they take you into the tower studio, which is amazingly small. Okay,
That's what I'm hearing.
It's about a Disney Cruise Line cabin size, and the cool thing on that was the guide was saying that every room there has a great view of the Epcot fireworks. So the cheapest rooms there are closest to Epcot and have the best fireworks views.
Yeah.
Like even and it kind of goes in a circle. And so if you can imagine pies, but even the one on this far pie that's faced out away from Epcot, you can go out on your balcony and turn your head sideways
And see.
And see. So every single one of those has a great balcony view of the Epcot fireworks, which again is kind of, backwards in the way they did things. Okay. But that being said and done, those things are somewhat cool. And I could see if you were doing a couples trip there and you wanted to save a couple of points, it's not saving an awful lot because they're already on par with Old Key West and Saratoga Standard Studios.
I'm using the app to see where we could switch for our October trip for our studio. And we could switch to Old Key West and the Tower Studio, which is not an option for us because we're 3 people and they're the same amount of points.
Yeah. So if Ryder was under 3 years old,
right.
If he counted as an infant, you'd be able to sneak in there. Okay.
But I don't think I'd want to be in that room with a toddler. If he was, 2.5, it's still a small. I mean, I think a couple, it's fine. Because I think a couple, I think back.
No, because it's not even a king size bed. So it's this queen pull down. And then you're going to have 2 adults and a toddler.
I think if you could pack into your Loungefly and stay for a night, maybe 2. But
then you have this huge bathroom, which I think is funny about the Tower Studios. I think they're great for couples. If so a lot of people can work that, but they do have these huge bathrooms, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that part was a little shocking. So I'll throw this little tidbit out there, and then we'll call it a night tonight because we're a little bit over. But the reason why I said you want to go to this member meetup on the very beginning of your trip is they will throw fast passes on your account, and they don't tell you they're going to do this. I had to look at this and go, what? Where did these come from? But they're the DVC multiple experience fast passes. They won't get you on Flight of Passage or any of the killer tier 1 rides, like Frozen is excluded, and
probably Mine Train,
Pan is excluded. Okay. Flight of Passage. I think all of Pandora is. So and Slinky Dog is. So the really cool stuff is excluded there, but it was 3 fast passes for everybody in my party. And if you do it at the beginning of your trip, they're good for several days. Okay?
And when is this offered? When is this DVC?
They do it all day. Like
it's all day. Okay.
Yeah. They do it like multiple times a day.
I'd go just for the free pin. Forget the fast passes. I want the free pin.
Yeah. And then hook Ray up with a Rice Krispie treat. And
yeah, exactly. Because he loves those.
Do you have to be staying at Riviera in order to be, into that tour?
Nope. they've just got a DVC ASA is what they're called.
Okay.
Associate sales something, or a sales associate, whatever. The little people that run the sit in the kiosks.
And how long was the tour?
I did a video of it and I could upload it someplace, but I didn't know that if they would want that done. But it was maybe 15 minutes of D23 stuff. It was geared to come back in and say, here's what's coming to Disney. And they were telling us about the stuff that opened up Friday with the new Beauty and the Beast sing along and the new movies and Guardians of the Galaxies. And it was basically all of the content from the D23 stuff of here's what's coming. And they just put it into a PowerPoint slide and a guy talks about it. And it's like, here's all the reasons why you're going to want to have more points.
Right.
And then he asked the questions, who here has multiple home contracts? And he goes into this little pitch on here's the benefit of having multiple home resorts so that they could turn around and sell you Riviera, which would be a multiple resort because this was for a member update. You had to be a member to get invited. Okay. So
when I went, before I even went, I emailed, because I bought direct. So I emailed, I love Marlene is mine. And so I emailed Marlene and I was like, hey, we're coming down. We'd love to say hi and give you hugs. And so she set us up even before we left Michigan. We knew when we were going to go see her and when we were going to do this. And she did give us, the information on Riviera. But so that was fun. But we didn't do the full walkthrough tour because it wasn't open then.
Right.
Yeah. And so like Barbara asked this question and then Brandy asked for a similar one. So what you do is you walk in the lobby and there's a kiosk set up there and you ask to do the member update. Okay. And then they will tell you when your member update is. Now, luckily for me, I got there at about 1:52 and there was one kicking off at 2.
Oh, nice.
And he said, I mean, literally, but I had like my bags, my everything. Okay? I just walked in the door. And so he's like, well, we could be full, but there's a wait list here. And if you're here at 2:00 sharp and some no-shows happen, which happens like every single time, there's people who don't show, then we'll work you in. And so I went over to the little coffee joint, got a latte and like a croissant or something like that because I hadn't ate since breakfast and I barely got the latte down. As a matter of fact, I finished it in the presentation. is what happened because he said, yeah, don't go anywhere. We think we got room. And then went upstairs with them, and they give you the grand tour of the place. They're pointing out all the hidden Mickeys along the way and all the artwork and some of the backstory. So I would recommend doing the member update deal. Okay. But if you're a super fan, you already know what's coming because you're following podcasts and blogs and everybody talks about what D23 is coming. So it won't be any new information there, but you will get to walk through some of the rooms and that'll be a really cool, fun experience as well. And you get the free swag with the pin, the fast passes, everything else. And let's face it, we're all DVC nerds and hounds anyways. So
I love to tour the architecture. I did that for a decade before I bought into DVC. I would just go to see all of what the resorts looked like. I love that part.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful resort. Absolutely beautiful. And that's a great way to come back in and walk through the rooms and see them yourselves. And if you want to end the conversation when they ask you are you buying more points? I just said, look, I'm not into restricted resale point, or I'm not into the new point restrictions. And boom, he shut down the conversation and thank you for coming. They did not want to have any conversations about that at all. So that's how you just kill the conversation with it and move on. So, Yep.
I can't wait for the podcast.
Yeah. So wait for the podcast. We'll have more. It could end up being a 2-episoder. I don't know how long we'll go, but I looked at the show notes of what we got to talk about. There's a good chance it's going to be a multiple episode show. So
I think there's enough there to do 2 episodes for sure.
Yeah. Especially when we start talking about the restaurants and all of the new stuff. And it's just, it'll hit 2 episodes. I'm almost guaranteed of it. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week because I fly home on Wednesday and then hopefully record that show on Thursday, but we'll definitely be going live next Sunday night. And hopefully Kevin McLeod has his internet fixed and he'll be joining us to spread some DVC love and sunshine out there. And then hopefully, with any luck, Richard and Sarah from Skywalking Through Neverland.
Yeah, I will not be here next week. And NFL Super Bowl festivities start in South Florida starting next weekend. So I'll be out for the next 2 weeks.
We'll be watching you on social media, though. I wish we could be there with you.
Yep. So, and then I think, Alicia, you're on deck for next week as well, right?
I'm good to go.
All right. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great night, and we will talk with you guys soon. And we will hopefully see some of you guys Tuesday night.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye. Have fun.
Bye.